This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your live market chat Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. Hopefully you had a great long weekend. Hopefully you've been paying attention to everything we've been saying over and over and over again. And I know it sounds like a broken record. This is why you don't chase certain stocks, certain names. You let the trend go in your favor, but then you raise stops. The more you're up, the less you own. We've talked about the evidence deeper into the market that it's showing signs of weakness. The economic data is falling off a cliff. Again, it's all things that are very obvious. But again, it's like, when does the market do what it's going to do? In my opinion, we've topped. Chop X, top X. From here, that's what's going to be difficult. Is it going to be a straight line? Did you get your fill? Did you take on your financials maybe today? Did you short some things that popped off the open? Again, if you're missing it, well, then you missed it. And that's what's hard, right? Like, you don't know the exact highs, you don't know the exact lows, but that's where you layer in. Does this make sense? See, so many guys struggling with certainty that they don't look at the market through a probability game. And then I'll get the same people who show up every video, just buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And it's like, okay, at a certain point, you have to be extremely careful that you do not get trapped. And here, again, let's talk about just, again, the biggest trap out there. It's not MicroStrategy. It's NVIDIA. We said be careful. Please be careful. Look at this. You get a 4-day range, basically a 5-day range, and fail. Now you get a big gap down. If you bought up here, what do? You going to buy more? We talked about this candle was very ominous. It doesn't mean it has to fail right away. A lot of folks talking, getting frustrated, like, what do I do now? I've been buying. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. We tried to show you the evidence that this was very similar to Cisco in 2000, other bubbles, and yet you just continue to chase. And now you're telling me, well, I don't know what to do. No, stop to your friend. That's all you can do. Move on. Well, I want to buy the dip. What if it bounces? Again, it might bounce at some point, but from where? I don't know what to tell you. But don't get mad at folks like us who are trying to help you out and be honest. Again, we talked about it. Let the tops play out sometimes. They chop out. Sometimes they're Vs. You never know, right? Like MicroStrategy. Here you go. It's a V, right? Just zzz, boom, But what if they're chop tops? That's where chop tops get people to get real comfortable that everything's just fine. Oops. So again, let's dig into this deeper. If you're new to the channel, want to join the Discord room, a link in the description below. Again, I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. If you have any questions, again, check out the new website, Free Fresh, Eat Fresh, Refresh, Subway, right? Schedule appointments, use the Coulling link, schedule a consultation, let's chat. Let me know how I can help you. Again, if you have real estate needs, oh my gosh, please be careful. Check out the website, DanMax Realty. Let me help you out. Also, too, again, I appreciate the folks that are involved in this, one of my friends that have actually, in this, on the outside world, taken a gamble to let me help them find an agent. And I have not had a single person not elated to realize that, hey, there are great people out there who are willing to help you find a great agent. Do not use your uncle, your friends, the person who does one deal a year. Would you go to, if you got in a car wreck, would you use a mediocre lawyer? If you had real health issues, do you want to go to a cut rate doctor? If you have real dental issues, do you want to go to like the dentist at the strip mall that doesn't really have terrible reviews? No, you don't know this. Do the homework. Let someone else like myself find you an amazing agent. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow on. Okay, it's so weird. X. Yeah, okay. Anyway. Fed watch tool, right? We know this has been low. Is it still 10.5%? It was that this morning, even though the market's starting to like little peel a little bit like an onion. Oh, 8.5. Bitcoin. What did we say? Again, look to the left, please. For the love of God, look to the left. And again, I don't know if it's about to pull back 20%, chop around, break out. I don't know. The dollar looks like it's about to roll over a little bit. I'm curious to see how Bitcoin reacts, because if it acts like silver, right? We don't know. Oil holding up, but it's chopping. I mean, these are really hard trades. Again, if you want the easier trades, be patient. Let them come to you. Trade the things that are overbought, out of their mind, going nuts, or just let oil in these games play. I mean, this is a big choppy slop zone. Natural gas, we talk about, like, that makes sense down here. right? I mean, and this is the thing. If you short the KOLD or you know, give yourself time with UNG, I mean, I think you can't lose from these points, but the UNG could absolutely get milked, right? Excuse me, because again, it's decaying. That's why it's like, man, I really want to see some choppiness. And then we talked about like KOLD, like let it just play out. Now you've got references. Not saying it can't go higher, but look at the long-term chart of this. Like it's a decay monster. It loves to decay, right? Like the more I zoom out, the more you go, holy shit, right? Is it going to 1,000? Probably not, no. But it's risen pretty well. And that's where it's like, decay. Okay. All right, let's just get into it. Because again, if you have any questions, please interrupt me. I have no problem. Apple breaking channel. We talked about this lagging. We talked about it failing at 190. But again, hey, Dan, where's Aaron? Hey, buy the dips. And I'm like, dude, got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. There's like, again, to think about the market as like a whole, right? Whole pie, whole picture. Well, when the picture's starting to get fuzzy and certain things don't make sense, you got to be careful. Adobe, right? We were like, look at this. Uh-oh. Amazon, better hold here. Hold, better hold. Uh-oh. I guess buy the dip. I don't know, man. These chop ranges, when they fail, can get fugly fast. Everybody thought Meta was going to 500. I'm like, Zuckerberg's selling like as fast as he can. What you want to buy? Guggenheim, we talked about this. Like Goog, something doesn't look right, guys. Like it should be breaking out, and then it's just fizzling. Right? Does this make sense? Questions, thoughts, concerns? Microsoft said, watch the 20-day. NDAQ talked about this being a piece of poo. MicroStrategy, again, 800 area. You're welcome. Retro Raggy. Netflix. I'm surprised this broke out and then came right back. No, not really. If this is a big trap, this thing could go fast. Keep that on your watch list. Roblox, we talked about 47s. Fail. Tesla, dead cat bounce. I mean, I think Ready, Set, Sell nailed it pretty well. It's selling on Friday. Nice work. We talked about it being oversold, holding channel low, but how high does it have to bounce? I don't know. We knew there was like a bounce in it if the market held up and the market was chopping around during VIX fun, during OPEX. Made sense. Good trade. Excellent trade. Credit to you, my friend. SMH. Intel pops, right? This morning, gives it all back. NVIDIA, you've seen this. Like, this is not good. Not good. Like, this big red gap and candle is like the start of a move, typically. Like, anyway, let's get, all right, the top is in. Here, you know what a professional gap is? You see these at the lows. Like, here you go. Big chop bottom, and then it starts a big move, right? You see this a lot, right? Off of lows. Remember, if you don't know what a novice gap versus pro gap, like a novice gap is a trapping gap for the, like say shorts here and they got stuck. Go trap novice right there. Pro gap, big volume. Well, again, I see big volume. Sometimes it just chops out. Right? Here you go. Novice gap. And then a couple days later, proceeds to drop. Now, how big will this drop be? That's a good question. I mean, geez. I mean, if you run the fibs on this thing, I mean, it's just, I mean, look at that. Like, I don't even like how to, like, think about a climber and they need to, like, acquiesce to, like, the oxygen at levels. This climber ran a sprint to climb a mountain and they're out of oxygen. You have to be careful. Like, this could get killed. No, Dan. No, Dan, you don't get it. No, Dan, you don't get it. All right, dude. No, you don't get it. You got to be careful chasing these names. But it's the stock of 2024, I was told by folks in the Discord room. And I was like, yeah, I know. We all know. Just, again, I'm not trying to be mean. Right? Chat rate. Oh, looks like someone's trying to chat and it's blocked. I apologize. Leave a comment below if you, or in the chat if you can and you're listening. For some reason, I'm not seeing all the chats. Live chat. Nope. At some point, it'll look like SMCI. Yeah. Hey guys. Hey, Josh. Hey, Eric. Oh, yeah. Speaking of SMCI, again, it's just like not on my radar, but it should be, obviously. Oh, I want to chase this stock all day. Blech. I don't know. I was a little aggressive. I apologize. But no, you got to be careful. I mean, who knows? Oh, but it's going to the moon. And once you believe that something's going to the moon, you need to get off the runway. And you need to get off of that track. You know? Got to. Right? Got to. Be careful. Ten cuidado. Ten cuidado. Sorry, getting distracted. AMD. Uh-oh, you better hold. Micron's up a little bit. We know. I mean, again, this is what's funny. It's like, you know, why short Micron when you can go short other names? And it's like, maybe it's getting squeezed a little bit. I don't know. Taiwan Semi. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Straight line moves. Again, and this is what people who are trolling when these things are going up, I'm like, okay, just let me know when you take profits. And then I don't hear anything from them. And then they come to me months later like, you were right. And it's like, it wasn't about ego, right or wrong, man. It's just a repeating pattern. Don't be that kind of guy or gal, friend, whatever you are. Don't be like that. Don't chase. Don't chase. I feel bad for folks. Again, you got to learn the lessons. Caterpillar. What are you going to do, right? Caterpillar, we talked about blow-off tops. What else? I mean, again, we could go CCJ. Better hold 41s. Oh, but everybody's chasing. Ten cuidado. Again, if they start the flush, is anything really safe? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If you don't know the answer to that, that's a problem. XLF, I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to short today, right now. Buy the FAS at 11.98, put a stop. Financials, hold all the risk. All of the risk. And yet people are just like, oh, that's cool. It's going higher. Okay, we'll see what happens today. We shall see. 10, again, cuidado. That's the saying of the chat. Man, any questions? Because again, I don't think there's a lot to talk about. Gold rallying. Again, I'm not surprised. We talked about the dollar in the weekend recap. Like, look at this. Right? Said got a hold in it. Gaps down. Like, there's clearly like overbought, oversold. Got to come down. So gold rallying. That's cool. Silver's not. That tells me, again, this is just, you know, chasing security, potentially chopping. Again, all this stuff. If you want to buy the miners and you bought the miners, we talked about them potentially squeezing just a little. I mean, again, look at the volume at the lows. There's got to be some buyers down there. Is this the big move, a big kahuna, you know, the big wave? I would argue that it's going to be much easier to play the big wave when the Feds pivot. And if this isn't the pivot point, I don't know. Wow, look at MPC. Look at these gas names. All it does, one day, takes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days of gains. Risk happens fast, doesn't it? And I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad for folks. Remember we talked about Soxus at 4. You're welcome. If you like large percentage gains quickly. If you buy the FAZ near 12, I think you're gonna get paid. ENPH, right? Here we go. Solar. Said this looked like a multi-day trap above the 200-day. Good gosh. Goodbye. Any other thoughts, questions? Again, I'm not trying to sit here and pat myself on the back. It's just like trying to, like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. AMD, whoops. Whoops, there it is. Let's go and see if we got any news and noise. This dude is terrible. They should mostly a macro guy, and the market hasn't cared about macro for a long time. Okay, good to know. Capital One, yeah. Real estate. Oops, helped out a friend here. Here's her listing. Check it out if you want to buy an amazing house in Palmdale. Booyah. Yeah, Buddy passed at the highs. Cool story. Just going through the Discord room. Yeah, Abercrombie and Fitch. I agree. Silly. AI and is it AINF? Thank you, Eric, for posting your weekly charts. Yeah, I saw that Banff about the guy who bought all the calls, and then I saw people who bought like way out of the money, like puts on MCI. Like it's just again, it's I don't know. Buy the dip. It's just consolidating on support. Yeah, we'll see. Somebody's gonna come here and say, and again, too bad Aaron's here. This is what bothers me is like these guys. I think I actually blocked him because I'm like, dude, you're saying the wrong things. You're not paying attention. If you're here to this channel to learn, cool. But if you're here to like go, buy the dip endlessly, I'm not gonna. It's like wasting my time, wasting all of our time. Like if you don't see it, versus like the guys and gals and the friends here who've seen it, that's fine. But don't just troll it. Like that's just, it's so like immature. If I don't agree with someone's YouTube channel, do I go in there and go, oh, you're wrong? Or am I gonna go post in someone's comment, you're not pretty, you're a fat punk? No, I don't have time for that kind of crap. You're a meanie. No, don't do that. You're either there to learn or you let people just do what they need to do. Gambling. Ouch. Yep. The pain train. Any other thoughts, concerns? Because again, I think it's very clear that the top is in. It's just going to be every day going to be a drop. No. And that's the thing. If you want to watch MicroStrategy or SMCI or NVIDIA, like, I mean, someone's going to argue and you're going to see on the Twitterverse, it's oversold. Which again is all relative. We'll see. Maybe on the 10-minute, maybe on the hour. I mean, whatever. Do you really want to buy that dip? You go right ahead. Because this is the thing. If you don't know what fear looks like, you don't know, and this is what happens. I mean, you can just go start going, right? Oh, I'll just keep buying the dip, keep buying the dip, keep buying the dip. And then eventually it's like the bottom drops out. I'm trying to find some other examples. Yeah, here you go. That's a good bottom dropping out. I mean, again, like we could go back and look at Cisco from the 2000s. I mean, you got to be careful. Again, it's not about right or wrong. It's probabilities, folks. Again, so many people beat their head against the wall like, oh, I got to be right. I'm going to be wrong. I'm telling you, I want to believe I'm right. Like, that's what the brain tricks you. You don't get into a trade because you go, I'm going to be wrong. I want to lose. No, that's not how your brain works. You didn't get into a trade because you're just a complete goofball. No. Watch the gap fill. Does this make sense? Thoughts, questions, concerns? Thoughts, questions, concerns? Not, I'll just wrap this up. Because again, it doesn't need to be anything other than it is. Chop top, OPEX. Oh, but I couldn't short it. Okay, this is what I've warned folks against, is gaps. Professional gaps start moves. And you don't know what day it's going to be. This felt like it. But look what we fill it back up and come right back and chop around it. As we said, chop tops are part of the game, but the gaps are the traps, and that's what's hard. In my opinion. Not in my opinion, that's a fact. They're real hard. And so if you are like, well, I'm going to wait to sell some NVIDIA, meaning take profits, next week, you just got fucked. Oh, excuse my language. Did I say that out loud? Oops. You're down 7, 8, 9% real quick. You bought Tesla and you're like, well, I'm just going to wait. Again, you didn't take profits. Ouch. SMCI, yeah, ouch. I don't know why I keep forgetting about them. It's like the obvious, stupidest name. Super Microcomputer. I thought it was Sun Microcomputers every time I saw them. Like, wow, they're back from the dead. Resurrect the dead. Oh, but no, we talked about the VIX bottomed. We said, look at the channel high. Most big moves start with a gap up on the VIX. Oh, just because it didn't go up every day. We talked about the fun and roller coaster. Posted that meme like a dozen times. Wee, the roller coaster. You didn't see it coming, did you? Or if you did, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud. Did the right things. Again, if this chart was upside down when we were looking at the markets and you were buying the dips and being patient at the lows, yes, it's no different. Who gives a crap, up or down? That's not the problem. It's the people who are perma anything. You get smoked. The market is meant to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. Do you not know that? No. Trading is to pay the masses. Right. Oh God, come on, EXPI. No. No. I get stock on this for doing deals. It's like, and there's a lot of, and here's, speaking of holding on to company stock forever and hoping you're going to get rich. Classic example. Agents who got into EXP. And the reason people are like, why did it run is because during COVID, EXP was a cloud-based real estate company. So they didn't have brick and mortar. Well, guess who was killing it? We're going up forever and ever and ever. Again, I didn't get stock until like 2022, 2023. And I don't care about the cost basis. Because again, the more likely going to be getting a lot more down in here than I'm getting up there. But point being, like, it's like a lottery ticket to me. I just sell cover calls against. I don't care. Yeah, you get a little divvy. You get a baby divvy. Little baby divvy. Like little Debbies. But here you go. We can't be wrong. Every agent in EXP is like, I'm getting fucking rich. I got this stock. It's going up forever. No one can ever take us down. Everything is perfect. It's all unicorns, lollipops, and rainbows. Well, what happened? EXP is still around. Actually, I would argue we're doing better than we were then. We have more revenue, more agents, more growth, more clients, better management. I mean, great management. Still the best model out there. But Dan, NVIDIA is different. Okay, I hope so. I truly hope so for the folks who are just going to buy and hold this thing. And if it is, it's the 1 out of 1,000. Because I feel like there's a million of these stories. Does anyone else have a story like this? Again, I'd like to tell my first story, my foray in trading. It was good old satellite radio. Howard Stern's coming. Howard's coming. He's going to change it. He's going to make satellite radio the next terrestrial radio and more. It's never, Dan, you don't understand. It's going up forever, bud. Oh, we got Howard. Oh, cool. Gets up to $8. Woo, gets down to 20 cents. Wee. Wow, if you bought in 2000, you're never getting your money back. Was it AO? What's AOI? What's it AOI? Is it AOI? OI? AI? OI? I can't remember that one. Eric, you're around. Why can't I ever remember this? AI? AO? I'm like getting Ohio State. Whatever. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, a lot of you guys don't remember like the fiber optic thing. Fiber optics are the future. Fiber optics are the future. Oh, yeah. Fiber optics forever. You're gonna need cable and high interspeed internet everywhere. Come on, you got this. Holding on forever. Oh, crap. What is it? DDDD. All right, 3D printers are the future. We're going to print everything with 3D printers forever. You got it. Nothing can go wrong. We've got the best printers in the world. Oops. Come at me and tell me why I'm scared for folks who are just going to hold NVIDIA forever. I mean, do I need to do AMC? Do I? AMC, hey, we're gonna revolutionize everything. We're going to the moon. Do you not know we got crypto and we're gonna do all sorts of cool shit and we're gonna be the future of entertainment? If you bought it $640, what is it worth today? A whopping $4.70. Ching! Winner! If you short. No, but do you see my point here? I mean, we can even do ARK. Hey, Kathy Woods is a genius. She can't do anything wrong. She is the next great Warren Buffett of our time. She's always talking about the future. She is the smartest person alive. About. Yeah, GE. I mean, I could do this all day. Literally all day. I mean, every stock out there, potentially, if it doesn't get bought out, and when it runs up and gets parabolic, you got to be scared. We good? We good? Oh, Coinbase, look at it. IPO. I'm glad I bought it at 430. Hey, Moderna, you guys have got this COVID thing. You've got this RMNA on lockdown. Cannot go wrong. This is the future of vaccines and medicine. Yeah, baby. No. Pot stocks. Yeah, give me one pot name. I don't even look at them anymore. They're so irrelevant. Look at Peloton. This is my point. I mean, like, do you see this? Do you see what I'm saying? Good luck if NVIDIA, if it ends up, Telray, yep. If it ends up being cool. But if it's wrong and you don't take any profits, you never got rich. Look at Tilray. Marijuana is gonna be legal. Everybody's gonna be getting fucking high. I bought the stock at 260 and now I'm crying because it's at, what is it? Jesus. Oh my God. It's at $1.90, $1.80. Do I need to do this more? Do you see my point? You hope it gets bought out. And if it doesn't, and again, you have to remember, these big monster, like NVIDIA is now too big to be bought out. It's the third largest company in the world. Ain't nobody buying it out. It's either an ATM or it's going to be like an Apple and it'll hold up. It'll pull back 30, 40%, which these names do, and then it'll continue to ride higher. Which either way, that's my point. Like, why would you not take profits the more you're up? Peloton, I'm going to throw an iPad on a bike, and I'm going to tell you I'm a genius. And everything's awesome. Ugh. No. Hopefully I've made my point. Are we good? Are we good? Again, I'm not trying to like rub it in. Does this make sense? I'm just trying to make you aware. Like SMCI, do yourself a favor. If you've bought that stock in the last 3 days, 4 days, last week, whatever, you better be careful. I mean, if you bought this in this 20 calendar year, please don't be surprised if it retests. I mean, because this one is probably still, again, I'd look at the market cap. It's still small enough to get bought out. So I do think there will be, what's the best way to describe it? I mean, again, I don't think it'll have a decent bounce in it at some point because you will see like the buyout rumor. NVIDIA, there's no buyout rumor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll manipulate the market. It'll drop. Market makers will get stuck with a bunch of shares, and they'll go, it's going to get bought out. And then all of a sudden, you're going to hear Apple's buying them out. NVIDIA's going to buy them out. Intel, right? Does this make sense? This is the pattern of the trap. And then it's like gets you to buy more, and then it goes lower later, potentially, or it just goes nowhere. Or someone creates a better chip, and they're competing, and now all of a sudden they have no competitive advantage. And I mean, I don't know. You cannot get locked into just seeing a few names act a certain way and believe that everything is like that. Oh, but Dan, you're an idiot. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm buying baby bios, and they're the hottest sector forever because the future is medicine all the time. It's always the future. Medicine, you got to buy biotech because we're going to live forever. See, Eric, hopefully you like my singing voice. Once momentum's lost, you got to run. And again, I'm not going to try to poo-poo Bitcoin, but man, it's the same story. Excusez-moi, French. It's going to the moon. Oh, nope, just kidding, it is. Oh, but you chase Bitcoin at the highs in 21, 22. You're begging for 60,000. Any thoughts, questions, concerns? I love you guys. Again, I'm just trying to make a point. Be careful. And again, we've talked about this. Like the risk reward last week was short. TopX, ChopX, again, got endlessly trolled because it's like, hey, you've been short forever. No. We had stops. Again, I can only look at the economic data and see how bad it's getting and just be like, all right, well, I know at some point, but it doesn't mean that we went out and shorted NVIDIA. No. Said, you got to be careful. If you had a short on, say, Taiwan, you had to be careful. Or Costco, like, okay, financial, you had to define your risk. You define your risk before you enter a trade, folks. You don't go in it and go, well, I don't care. I'm just going to see what happens. Roll the dice. Here's that dice rolling. Do you want to just roll the dice? No, that's not what we do in trading. All right, I'm going to let it run. I appreciate you guys. Leave a comment below. If you have any real estate questions, don't hesitate. If you got any trading questions, again, what are you waiting for? Let me offer help. Or I am offering help. Let me know how I can help you. Again, if you want to be successful at anything, you got to be willing to do what it takes. I mean, it's ironic that, you know, Bruce Lee would said one thing that always stuck with me, and he never feared the man who knew how to do 10,000 kicks. He was scared of the guy that knew how to do, he did one kick 10,000 times and knew it well. That's all you have to do in trading. Just figure out your niche and do it well. But your niche has to be secure. It can't be a gamble because you're not gambling. You're taking risk, right? It's calculated risk. It's like playing, if you're a professional poker player, do you just go out there every night and just wing it and hope and go nuts? No, you don't do that. No, you don't do that. You have calculated gamble, risking, and probabilities. That's what we're doing here. All right, I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful afternoon. See you in the Discord room or see you for the daily market review. Peace.